Alright, I finished up the valve rods and made the nuts for the ends. Let's see right here. The only thing I haven't done yet, I shouldn't say I finished them yet, because I do have to part off the nail end and then put the adjustment flat on there yet. But I'm going to move forward now, and I'm going to move on to the cam roller fork. So I'm going to set the camera up here, and I've got some 3/16 material here, and I'm going to take and part off a piece, and I'm going to use a dovetail, not a dovetail, woodruff. My woodruff cutter again. So I'm going to clamp you here, and I have to figure out a way of holding it like up and down. So I'll probably put a parallel. I need some parallels here. Small parallel. Alright, now I think I can put 1/2 by 1 parallel down there. I'll set that on that. That should give me enough room. And then I'll set a parallel there in front. And then another one here. Building a little box up here basically to clamp that up. That should work. Let's see if I can get the light over here so you can see it. So now I'll get the woodruff cutter, put it away, and this woodruff cutter is 45 thousandths. This woodruff cutter is 45 thousandths thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and part off a piece the right width that I need. So we'll take and load that up in the spindle here. And these little woodruff cutters like this, these small ones, thin ones like this, come in handy for a lot of different things. I find this easier than going to the bandsaw, and I'd have to, I don't have a vertical, I only have a chop saw bandsaw, and kind of a pain in the butt. And this is, to me, this is easier. Okay, this time I'm going to lock it, and I'm going to take a piece of telephone book paper and put it under there, and I'm going to turn the spindle on, and I'm going to put the paper underneath and crank my knee up until it just rips the paper, just cuts the paper. Thought I was closer than that. There we go. Okay, so I know it's 45. I know the thickness of that is 45, so I'm going to move it up 45. And I want the overall width of that fork to be, or overall length of it, 9/16, 562. So I'm going to zero out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 62. Should be right there. I'm not, if I'm right. Yeah, it's 9/16. It's 9/16 long. So it'll be 562. So that's where it should be. All right, so let's run her across there and see. I'm going to have to take this in 2 cuts, one down the front and then one down the back. And just a little edge there I can knock off with a file. So that takes care of that. Now I'm going to do the widths, the widths the same way. And that is supposed to be 250 thousandths. So we'll take that stock out. I'm going to grab a file quick here and knock this little bit of a rib off. Get that out while it's in one piece before I take a few strokes here to get rid of it. Getting down to the nitty-gritty, I got to make some bushings yet. And I have to make the cam roller for this. Also, I have video that I edited from yesterday. I lost one video file. I'll be uploading that this evening. Okay. So what I did was I just draw filed it and got rid of that little rib down the middle. Now I can, this material by the way was all squared up, so these edges are perpendicular to the cuts that I just made. So we'll put this in here. I might have to go with a taller parallel. No, I can get the first one. I can get the first one here. So we'll come over here and do the same thing. We'll touch off on it. And put my paper under there. And lightly. All right. I'm going to move over to this side. Okay, move it up 45 again. 0, and then 45. And then they're supposed to be 250 in width. 1, 2, and 50. Okie doke. This time I'll be able to get all the way to the center of it. Okay. One blank, ready to go. I'm going to do that 3 more times, and when I get done with that, we'll put the slot. Actually, I'll probably put the holes in first. Yes, I'll put the holes. I'll get the 3 more, and then I'll put the holes in. And then after I put the holes in, then I'll cut the slot and then mill the step. So I will continue on here. Alright, I'm going to turn the light on. Not so much for the camera, but for me. So I can see. I want to put a center drill. Small center drill, and for number 44 is what I'll be drilling in. I need to see if I can get the parallel out. Oh yeah, piece of cake. I'll just slide the parallel. I'm just sliding the parallel out from underneath it. The slot is going to go through, and this will actually help with the slot because most of the material will be gone already. And I think I'm going to, I think I'm going to sharpen this drill or find another one, because it looks pretty dull. So I'll be back when I get the drill either sharpened, or I'll probably just sharpen it. So I'll be back. Okay, I didn't want to dig out the drill sharpener, so I went and found another drill. I had another one laying there. So here we go. I'm going to center drill. And then I'm going to drill. I'm going to stop just short of going all the way through anyway, but I took the parallel out just in case. Alright, I should mark the top and the bottom of this just so I don't get confused. Although it is closer to the one side, I just have to make sure that I load it correctly. It is visible that you can see that it's, so I'm just going to go ahead and drill all 4 of them with that drill, and at this location. And then I'll, when I do get that done, then I will flip over to the side and drill and tap the lock hole for the because this is actually where the rod, or the push rod goes through. And then I'll drill and tap the set screw hole to lock that in place, and then drill and tap the hole over here for the roller, and then it'll be setting up to do the fork. So I'm just going to go ahead and do all the drilling. When I come back to mill the slot, I'll come back and video that. Otherwise, this is just drill operations. It's nothing. It's just move it to the location and drill. So good. That I'm going to go after, and I'm going to try to center it in there. Actually, what I think I want to do is open the place up and put a block in there to give myself more room. I'm going to just stick a parallel in there. I'm going to stick a 1/2 by 1 parallel in here. That'll give me more room. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just take a light cut on the bottom and then a light cut on the side here. So we'll just take and bring it down and touch it with the spindle off and crank it in. All right, here we go. I'm going to crank it up 10 thou. And I'm going to come over and I'm just going to touch the wall. And I'm going to mill that all the way off to the stop over there. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take a little heavier cut. What? Let me take. Looks like I got to go up a little more. Have to go up another 10. So I had to come back over here and do this again. I didn't know which side was lower. Alright. Now I'll go back over here. And I'm going to just clean it up there. I don't know if this is going to work or not, or if it's going to be too much of a radius. So I think I'm going to have to get a smaller end mill right there. Go down to a 16. I'm going to go to a smaller end mill there. I'm going down to a 16th end mill. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plunge in and out so that I got a square corner there for a stop. So I got to switch collets again. Down to a 3/16 now. Right? Or is it a quarter? That's 3/16 collet. Alright. Now, we're going to come down here and we're going to move it over and we're going to touch. There we go. What I'm trying to accomplish is to get a nice square corner there. Like that. Should be there. I'll give it a little blast here. Hopefully I didn't go too far back and my part will still clamp. I was thinking about that when I did that I might have went too far. So now I can butt it up against that. So now I can butt it up against that end, that little square corner I put in there, and I can clamp it. And you can see that I still have probably about 50 thou of clamping pressure that I can put on. So now I need to pick up this side and this edge over here. So I will take my part out of there and I will get square gauge block. I had one out, and I don't seem to see it right now. Huh. Well, another one out. Okay. I'll take a 500 one, and I'll stick that in there. And what I'm going to do is bring that up against that stop. Okay, what's going on here? Something is not hitting straight. I didn't take a full pass along there. Apparently on the back side I can see a gap over here and it's gripping out there. So I'm going to clamp that right there, and I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to touch again. I'm just going to touch it. Right there. And I'm going to crank over here where that gap was. I'm going to crank it in until I touch the wall. And then I'm going to go across and straighten that out. It might be that it's just this end and that's how much give in the jaw there was. Regardless, I'm going to straighten it out with the clamping pressure on this side. Normally I put something on both sides, but when I'm in a soft jaw like this, I don't. I usually compensate it with by doing stuff like this here, straightening it out. Now when I clamp it, it should clamp all the way across and not have that problem. We'll see here. Okay, now put it up against the stop. Much better. Okay, now we're cooking. So now we'll get that edge finder out again. Switch back to a 1/2 inch collet. Put the end mill away. And get a 1/2 inch collet out. And get my edge finder. And stick that in there. Okay. I'll turn the light out again so you can kind of, makes it a little easier to see it. And the first thing I want to do is pick up this edge over here. So we'll come up to it and touch. Right there. So that's my X0. So I'm going to, actually that's X100. So I am going to set my X dial at 100 because I'm 100th away. I'm going to crank it away from it, bring it back down, turn this, and we're going to come back in and touch again and see if I come out with the same reading twice. Right there. And I am 1 thou different. So I'd say it's close enough. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mark on the front of my machine here that I can line up with. That's all I do is that I just put a mark there. That gives me, tells me, because if you're one turn off on the dial, that mark won't line up. So now I can move it anywhere I want, and I know where I'm at. Now I'll go back and do the same thing in Y. Alright, move it in so it touches. Right there. Set my Y at 100. Alright, who's the 8 to tighten that dial up? I don't like tightening my dials up really tight. Makes it a struggle when you want to try to set them without moving them. I may have moved it. So we'll turn it, bring it down, and we'll check. Should come out at 100. Right about there. Right there. And we're at 100. So I didn't move it. So we're good to go there. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to move it in. I'm going to move it in the 100th thou to 0. And I'm going to put the mark over on the side of my y-axis so I can see where I'm at. I have a mark there from the solid jaw, so I'll just put another mark right behind it. Like I say, if you're a crank off, you're 200 thou, you're going to see it. That way you know right where you're at. You know right where you're at all times then. So, I don't know which to do first, mill the step or mill the slot itself. I think I'm going to mill the step. So, I think I'm going to get a 1/4 inch 2-flute end mill. And we're going to mill that step. Alright, I got a 1/4 inch 2-flute with a 3/8 shank. Change collets. Check that up. Part in, and I got to make sure I mill the right side here now. So, we want the hole toward the top side, toward the back. And slide it up against the stop. Tighten it, and here we want to be 187 thousandths. We want to be 187 thousandths over. So the center line is right there right now at 0, which is right there. No, it's not. One crank off. See, I can see that on my mark. Right there. All right, now I got to figure out just how far I want to go. So we can go to 125 for the end mill. And then I'm going to reset it. I shouldn't have, but I did. I reset it at 125. So now that edge of the edge of that end mill is to the edge of that part. Should be anyway. It's not. What's going on? Alright. I made a boo-boo here somewhere. There's 0 on the dial. Well, I reset the dial. I gotta drop back and re-pick up that edge. I messed up here somewhere. So I'll put the 1/2 inch Joe block in there, and I will do the same thing as I just did. Hopefully find my mistake. I'll come back once I figure it out. That was something pretty obvious. If I go back and watch the video, I'll probably see it. What happened was I put the mark on the table, didn't move my the 100 thou for the feeler for the edge finder. What a dummy. Oops. I guess I'm just getting in too big a hurry here. Let's slow down here. So, try this again. Put the end mill in here. I had to move 125 for the end mill diameter. 125. And then from there, I want to be 3/16, so 187 from there. So 187 would be there's 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 85, 86, 87. There's the edge. And I'm going to make a mark on my dial now. And plus another mark on the table on the other side. That way I can see where the edge of that is. And now make sure I load the part right. Hole the little cross hole to the back. And push rod diameter hole to the left. And I want to end up with 74 thousandths of, you know what? I think I'm going to go with a 1/2 inch end mill. That way I don't even have to move my table. No, I don't want to do that. I might kick it out. So I'm just going to touch, move it over, and I want to go 87 thick. I want to go down to 74. So I want to go up 113 thousandths. I'm going to go with 100 to start with and then see where I'm at. There's 100. I think I'm just going to mill them all across like that without moving the table, and then move over and get the rest of it afterwards. So I'm just going to see where I'm at with this. So the 74 is 86. So I need 12 thou there. So I'll turn my spindle on. Move up 12. 10, 11, 12. And my 3/16 on the end is 3/16. So stop that. We'll put this back in. And I'm going to lock my X. Actually, I'm going to give it just a couple thou. And we're going to go across it again. Take it out of there. We're at 75. I'm actually going to give it a couple thou more because the edge of that hole is not quite cleaned up. And the thinner I go, it would just give me a little more clearance between the flywheel and the upright. So I'm just going to go a couple more. Went up 2 thou extra. And just about all cleaned up. My drill walked, or not quite sure why that didn't clean up entirely, but we'll put the next one in and do it. Did all right. I'm just double checking myself here. Wanted to make sure I milled the right side. Sometimes you get into that, especially after not moving it 100 and not something so simple. Simple little mistake that'll. I'm glad I stopped and started and went back. Oh. Taking it all in one cut across here. Gingerly. Don't want to kick it out of there. That's why I didn't want to go with a 1/2 inch. You put more cutting pressure on it than a... That one cleaned up. Well, I'm wondering if the drill just walked on that one. Okay. Looks good to me. Continue. Continue on. That one didn't clean up also. It's so close to cleaning up that hole that not quite sure. It has to be that the drill walked a little bit, put too much banging on the drill. Okay, now I'm going to move over and clean it up the rest of the way. And I'm going to climb cut so that it's pushing it to the jaw, or to the stop. I don't want it pushing it that way. I want it pulling it toward the stop. So I'm just going to move over. And then come back across. Less chance of it to move if it's pushing toward the stop. That looks pretty good. 9 weeks to go until I go into retirement. Then I'll be out here considerably more, I'm sure, until the weather gets nice. Hopefully the weather will be nice in 9 weeks. So, on one hand, I'm looking forward to it. On the other hand, it's a bit scary. You know, but I do think I'm ready. I do think I'm ready to call it quits where I'm working. So, although I do like what I do, I do like my job at work. It's just that I don't like some of the people I have to deal with. One in particular. So anyway, that's another story for another day. Last one. Then there'll be a slot. Alright. Now we want to set it for the slot, which is 1/8 inch, I believe. Yep, 125. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 125 2 flute end mill in there. Find one. I don't know. Yeah, I think this will work. I have to switch collets again. The more time switching collets, so one down, 3/16 again. Or is that an 1/8? That's an 1/8. I need an 1/8 inch collet. Where'd my 1/8 inch collet go? There it is. In the wrong spot. And here the slot comes back all the way and blends to the full width, full thickness there, so I won't have to guess where I'm at, or count the dial or anything like that. So we want to get to the 0 here. Look at my mark on the side. There's 0. So now the center line is over that, and that is 250, so we want to go 125 over. 125. And I'm going to lock that. And unlock my X. And here we go. I'm just going to plunge mill it. I'm going to plunge mill it to up to where it belongs, up to the full diameter. What I think I'm going to do is set a spindle stop here. Turning my thumb wheel up on my spindle to stop the downward travel on the quill right there. That way I'm coming down the same spot every time. And I'm just going to plunge mill it until I get all the way into where I want to be. I'm taking probably 30, 40 thou at a time here. I'm not looking at the dial, I'm just cranking whatever feels good. Gotta just blend up to that wall, so I'm going to touch the wall, go down. Now I'm going to keep it down and crank out. That'll clean up all little mismatches. Well, that should do it. Let's see what we got here. Now, I want to make sure that it slides on my little flywheel, or my connecting rod, or crank. She's pretty snug, so I'm going to have to move. It did not cut oversized at all. I was hoping it would cut maybe, that end mill would cut maybe a thou over or so, but it did not. So that means go back down in there, and I'm going to crank it out a thou. Actually, I'm going to crank it in a thou. $126. I cranked it in 1,000. The reason I cranked it in instead out is push it again, but I don't think that it's going to matter. Not going to be much cutting pressure anyway. It's just a habit. We all have them. All right, now it should slide on that pin. Actually, it still fits pretty tight. So, I'll go a foul the other way also, I guess. All right. Now it should cut on the back side a little bit. Still fitting tight. Acting almost like that end mill is an undersized end mill. Let me measure from side to side here. Yeah, I'm gonna crank it in. Once I figure out how much I got to go over, it should be a repeat on all of them. All right, now we're going to cut on the back side of it again. Now then they'll cut. It's cutting like 3 to 4 thou under what it should be cutting. Maybe it's dull. I didn't think it was that dull. Either that, or it could be that the material is flexing too, or warping. I want a nice slide fit on that, so. I know it ain't flexing away when it's cutting, because there's no way that it can. So that's 5,000 now. It has to be that the forks itself warped in, the material gave way. Depending on what, see, I don't know what condition this material was that I use. There we go. That's 5 thou. Looks like that's what it's going to take. So apparently they collapsed a little bit when the heat or stress from the milling that out. But here's the flywheel. It slides on there really nice now. I don't notice a whole lot of slop, so they're all going to get milled the same here now. So I will continue on. I'm just going to go ahead and mill these. I'm going to turn the camera off and finish milling the rest of them, and knock some corners on there with file. And then I have the connecting rods, or not the connecting rods, the bell. I have the bell push rods yet that I need to go in here and mill the flats. So I'll probably cut these off and mill the flats. I'll come back when I'm doing that. I have a little V block, but I'm thinking that maybe I'll do that here also somewhere. We'll see. Anyway, and I'm going to shut the camera off here and finish milling those the slots on those, and then I'll come back to it. And we're getting closer. Got bushings left to make. After I finish this, I need to make the bushings yet, and then the burner. And I don't know if I have I know I have some copper adapters, but I don't know if I have the right one, so I may have to go make a run and go get some of those, I think it's 3/4 to 1/2 inch adapters that we use. Look and see. I believe that's what it was. If I can find the right page. Adapter, engine, fuel tank lid, copper pipe reducer, 3/4 to 1/2. I could also, if I don't have those, I could make lids and everything else for them right away. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish these cam roller forks. Oh, I got to make the roller for the cam too. So. And then plus I'll need to make the little valve port shoe, or the valve itself, you know. So I do have some work left to do. I'm thinking about making that cutter. I'm going to make it different than what the plans call out. You're not going really deep with that cutter, so I don't understand why they cut that thin area way down so far. It doesn't have to be that far. It only have to reduce the diameter by probably 50 thou, in diameter. Anyway, we'll talk about that when I get to it. So until then, catch you later.